a good time. I always tell my girlfriends, it's your fantasy to be with Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Steve.
Do you ever get tired of people just telling you how much they like what you do, or you never get tired of that?
Well, obviously, everybody enjoys to have people tell them how much they, enjoy their work and that sort of thing. Just as people don't like to hear the people telling them that they don't like their work.
But I know, you have so much neat stuff that, people have grown up with and enjoy so much every day. I'm somewhere right now, they're enjoying a George Lucas thing. Did you ever think that was even remotely possible when you were a little boy?
No, I had no idea that, one, that I'd even be in the film business. And then when I got in the film business, I had no idea I'd be in the theatrical film business. And then when I was in theatrical film business, I had no idea that I'd be successful and people would sort of respond to my work.
Did you ever want to be a performer?
No.
Not even for one day?
I have performed, which has proved inconclusively, as it is, that I probably shouldn't be doing it. Maybe with a brilliant director, that's why it's inconclusive. But so far, my performances have been less than
been very special performances, you might say. Were you a radio kid? I used to listen to one under my radio, under my pillow at night, and I loved DXing late at night too.
Well, I grew up with radio. We didn't get a television until I was 10 years old, so mostly up to that period I spent my nights listening to the radio. And radio dramas were very big then, and it had a very big influence on my life.
Did you ever listen to out-of-town stations? I mean, like just try to find stations and listen to them?
Yeah. That was more the essence of American Graffiti, which was the mysterious station from somewhere out there. Mm-hmm. This is more an homage to the idea of dramatic radio and using your imagination to fill in the blanks.
What have you found that of overall the things, because we got Star Tours in there and you got the Star Wars things that you've actually done hands-on and a little bit of executive producing, a little bit of everything. What is it you think you do best? What is your greatest contribution you can make to something?
I think at heart I'm a film editor, and that's where I can make my biggest contribution. I mean, that's what I know how to do the best. I've edited a lot of my films, and I'm always involved in the post on everything that I've been involved with, and I think that's really my greatest gift. I started out as a film editor.
And a lot of people don't realize you were like the shadow editor or something of Jurassic Park. What was your position? Kind of supervisor of production?
I was just sort of overseeing the post while Steve was in Poland. I didn't really have to do too much. We were sending him special effects shots via satellite every day, so he was approving his own special effects shots. I was just sort of making sure that everything got done on time. We did all the sound work and everything, and I was checking on the sound. That was just... I wasn't super involved.
Are you still involved with trying to improve the movie-going experience as someone who's sitting in the theater?
Yeah, we've developed THX theaters, which we trying to get installed around the country, which is a sound system and really improves the soundtrack. And we're really trying to see to it that films are seen by the movie-going audience in the same way that the filmmaker is able to see the films. We've expanded that into Laserdiscs and other areas where we're trying to make sure the quality is what the filmmaker intended it to be.
Don't you prefer, though, as a filmmaker, for the viewer to watch it in a theater in the dark on the big screen?
Well, obviously that's the best possible experience you can have. To watch it with a large group of people on a giant screen is a very, very different experience than watching it at home on a video screen. And I think both of those will always coexist.
And I know you've been answering this all day, but let's go ahead and get a couple of these things. Now, Indiana Jones, when I was Harrison Ford the other day, he said it's in the script phase. And he said the last one took 5 years to get through all the procedures and get all the trains coming in the tracks at the right time. Is that where we are with that?
Yeah, well, we're working on the screenplay, and hopefully we can get one that will meet with Harrison and Steve's approval.
And can anyone ever afford to make a Star Wars? I know you want to make the other three, but you always said it was kind of prohibitively expensive now.
Well, one of the reasons I did Radioland was to test a lot of the ideas that we developed on the TV series, The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, and I think we've managed to develop a technique that we're using on this film to lower the cost considerably. I mean, this film, which would normally be about a $30 million film, is now a $10 million film. So if we apply that to Star Wars, it brings it down within range where it can be done.
And how in the world is someone going to make a movie that has maybe 5 times as much as Jurassic Park does, like Godzilla. How are they going to do that? It's going to be amazing, isn't it?
Well, again, it's like all computer technology. Every year it gets faster and you get more storage, and when that happens, then the costs come down. And so the costs are being driven down by the technology, and which
And
means
that's computers we're talking about here, basically.
And so we can do more and more with them then.
I can't wait to see it. Congratulations. Thank you. Nice seeing you. I always want to come visit Iowa. Open up Jaws and Closer Encounters of the Third Kind.
Well, Stephen was at the screening yesterday. We had this sort of premiere yesterday in Westwood, and he was there. He was actually sitting right next to me, and it's the first time he'd seen a lot of the new effects, and he was very excited about all the things we'd done to change the film. And I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't bring E.T. back.
I mean, well, he might bring it back, but is he going to go try to fix the sound and do all this to make it? Because no artist is happy with his work, really.
Yeah, I think he's putting some other material back in that wasn't there before. You know, a lot of the people, this is unique only because I was sort of pushing the state-of-the-art of technology to make the film in the first place. And, you know, obviously it's all prototypes, so we made a lot of mistakes, and we learned a lot of things, and some of it didn't come up to quite what we were trying to do, and we didn't have much time to do it in. So that doesn't happen very often, you know, where you're actually building, you know, starting a whole new technology and making a movie at the same time. As a result, there were a lot of things that I felt needed to be fixed.
Are your hopes that, like, 5- and 6-year-olds who have never seen Star Wars, that's who you really probably like more than anybody to go see this?
Yes, one of the primary reasons to do the 20th anniversary celebration as a reissue of the movie rather than a convention or something was that I felt, you know, there was a whole generation that hasn't seen the film the way it was designed, and it was designed very specifically for the big screen. I mean, part of the fascination and I think the real joy of watching the movies is that it overwhelms you rather than you overwhelming it, and it really depends on that. The images move by faster. You know, when the ship comes over, it's really big. Everything is the way it was meant to be because it's space and it's big and that sort of thing. When you see it on a TV screen, you don't get any of that.
The box office speaks for itself. My purchase of this movie many times, I think, speaks for itself. But I read some weird comments about this film, you know, from critics over the years. One was the classic. The script could be put on the head of a pen and still have room for the Bible. Where do the people get things? They just don't get it? Is that the...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, obviously, I mean, Star Wars is not a film that the critics have really been enamored by, and actually, I don't think any of my films have been really popular with critics. And you just sort of live with that part of it. They live in a world where they have a particular idea of the kind of movies they think should be made, and the kind of movies I make don't fit in that category. They have a tendency toward movies that are based on great literature or plays, and I'm a person that's really interested in movies and film as a unique medium unto itself that doesn't have anything to do with, you know, recording plays or recording books or something else.
Have you always been somewhat amazed, and probably every day cease to be amazed, at the reaction that some people have to the film? It's, you know, have conventions about it, they think about it, they have car tags that, you know, are with it. I mean, it has to, you kind of say sometimes you have to shake your head, don't you?
Yeah, you know, it's part of America, that's for sure. And I guess I got a little into it before because Star Trek had all these conventions and they had fans and everything before we did Star Wars. So I was sort of, you know, you're used to, you know, that's going to kind of happen. I didn't expect it to ever happen with Star Wars, but, you know, I don't find it too unusual.
And you have a thing about artist rights. I know you're trying to work with Congress on that. Are you uncomfortable seeing people like Lucy and Jack Webb in commercials and the fact that they're dead and they don't have any control over that? They wouldn't have done it in life.
Well, it's true. I'm not sure in those particular cases where they're using people from, they do have to get permission to do that from either the estate or somebody.
But the person's dead, and they wouldn't have done that in their real life, most likely.
Well, possibly not, but at least the family, I think, has something to say about it. What artist rights we're fighting for is the ability of corporations and executives in those corporations to alter movies for their own whim, to just change them, to take a black and white movie, make it color, you know, make a widescreen movie, small, to re-edit it, to take out a certain political concern or whatever, or to add a different music score, you know, to add a pop score instead of a classical score and those sort of things in order to make it more commercial, in order to maybe find another market for it. Those things should be left to the filmmaker. The filmmaker should decide what happens to their work, not a nameless, faceless corporation. And right now, the way the law reads, any corporation can change any movie any way they want, and it would be lost forever to the rest of the society. And you know, this is part of our heritage.
Yeah, good luck to you. You brought a lot of smiles around my house.
Thank you.
Thank you. I wanted to get that.